Alright, welcome back. JP here, back again with another installment to my 2021 Civic Hatchback Sport. Now, what I have in my car already is interior lights, and I got some kind of cheap ones. But I went ahead and got something a little bit more extreme. I got the Govee 4-piece light bar that has RGBIC, and it also is Bluetooth app controlled, so it's a little bit nicer and it's a little bit better than what I already have installed. A couple of the other things that I wanted to kind of go over today is how to install this cleanly. And the way that I installed this cleanly was to not use the cigarette lighter, so I'll be showing you guys all of that today. And yeah, I wanted to be able to just kind of go over really quickly on how this is done, because it's fairly simple, not too hard, and pretty much goes in and that's it. Nothing too crazy. So let's go and do this. Before I go through the install, I wanted to at least show you guys what the lights look like inside the car. Main reason why I actually like this light setup is just because you can choose different colors on each LED strip, and there's a bunch of different modes that you guys can choose from. Right here I cycle through some of the scene modes that you can actually pick. There's this super obnoxious lightning one, and it's just wild in here, but it's cool because you at least have the options. There's music modes. You can actually make your own, and this is one that I made. It's a chase sequence to where I have blue, green, and purple, and they all chase each other around, and it kind of looks like that whole kit car looking feel, but with some colors of your choice. Alright, so coming out here to the front of the car, because I kind of laid everything out, is I have the actual lights. Right here what we have is the actual cigarette lighter port, and then also the little controller. It has a power button. It also has like a cycle mode, and it also has like a brightness level mode, because this does come with like a bunch of different levels of brightness. You also have two light bars right here, preferably towards the front, just because this wire is a lot shorter over here. You do have a good length of wire right here. A couple of things that I wanted to show you guys is to make sure that you are installing the lights to where it's hooked up right here. You can barely see it. This was the old light bar, but you can see how the wires are neatly tucked away. You can't see where the actual wires come through the actual flooring, but you can see the wires tucked back right here, and that right there is actually hidden underneath the seat. I don't actually have the light on the back of the seat. What I have it is right under the seat, and then kind of just reflects off the floor. Where I do have the original button placement is right here, just because it's hidden right behind the cigarette lighter, and the wires just come out just like this, and pretty simple and straightforward to install in the Civic Hatchback Sport. If you want to actually cut off the cigarette lighter and place it behind the cigarette lighter port. We're going to start here in the cabin. We're going to be going under here. So you have your cigarette lighter and then also your USB. What you're going to want to do is there's this little tiny slot right here. Mine's a little abused just because I'm taking this out to do some shifter upgrades. Usually like a pick like this, like a 90-degree pick, will work. You want to slide it up and kind of angle it and just pull. And once you get that, you can kind of slide this under and just keep pulling until the whole thing comes out. And once this is out, it'll expose these two wires back here. Just go ahead and unplug those. So, one back here. Boom. Alright, once those two are out, what we're going to do is we're going to tap into this line right here with some T-splicers. These ones I have here are just regular T-taps. What they do is they tap into one side of the wire, and then you can tap into the light positive negative with this portion right here, and then you'll get into this positive and negative. Alright, now I got the T-taps installed onto the cigarette lighter harness, and here we have the cigarette lighter do this at your own risk. This is not my fault if you mess this up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the cigarette lighter, and it's going to expose 2 wires, one red, one black, and then you just put these splice heads right onto the tip of these and then hook it up over there. I'm going to test out the lights first before fully running them, just to make sure that they work, and then start tucking away. Right, so with the T-taps installed, and you can see right here I have white to red, black to black, yeah, just the standard. I'm going to test out the lights now just to make sure that they turn on. So I turn on the car really quick, and boom, they turn on, and they're making a whole bunch of ruckus right now. With these lights on, I can kind of show you there's a bunch of different like music settings. You can actually just do solid colors, and then if you press and hold this button right here, then it actually makes it brighter, dimmer, pretty much to your liking. So when you want to tuck this through, just to make sure that everything is kind of hidden away, what you want to do is you want to actually take one of the LEDs and then sneak it down here to the right, and you'll see it kind of poke out the bottom of the center console. And boom, one through. And whenever you're doing one side, you always want to make sure that you get all the way through to where you have both LEDs. So just keep pulling until you get the other one through. And boom. And it's always good to just make sure that you get the amount of wire that you think you need. And I'm just going to go all the way up until where the Y is at, just so that you have the amount of room that you need to install this. The first one is going to go right under here, under the glove box. I'm just going to put it right here simply, run the wire through this portion, and then the back one will go all the way through here and underneath the seat. Alright, so with the first LEDs installed, the first one I pretty much tucked all the wire that was sticking out right here, just kind of tucked it up into here. Doesn't get caught by the glove box or anything. I firmly pressed this whole LED down for about 10 seconds, like portion by portion by portion. And once that wire was fully installed, then I kind of snug it back here underneath the glove box, down into this side panel right here, and ran it all the way up into the B pillar. Once I got it behind the B pillar, I ran it as far as I wanted to. I just made sure that the wire wasn't as exposed, so pretty much ran it all the way up until here. And you can see kind of down here where the LED sits. Or maybe not. I don't know if you can see that, but that's where I have it. And you see this like fabric that's kind of like tabbed out. What I did was, just for this LEDs to kind of still show, is I kind of stapled it to the back of this, or like I folded it back and restapled it to itself, just so that the lights show a little bit more. So now once you have this done, you pretty much want to do this to the other side and go ahead and close that cigarette lighter / USB panel back in, and you got lights in your car, boy.